town flooded with illegals just declared a crisis, Trump has perfect response. Mayor Juan Manuel Gastelum of Tijuana, Mexico is begging the UN to help with the influx of thousands of illegal aliens who are demanding entry into the United States. The Mexican government is ignoring the mayor and instead struck a deal with President Trump to keep the invaders on the Mexican side while being processed. Gastelum has declared a crisis. President Trump is standing firm and says the illegal invaders will not cross the border until they are individually approved in court. He says he'll shut down the entire border if necessary, and the military and the border patrol are ready to rumble. Mexico let it get to this point and Trump is putting a stop to this one way or the other. Chicks on the Right has more on this standoff. I hope you all enjoyed your long holiday weekends. I know many of you, myself included, unplugged for a few days from the wild world of politics. I can't be the only one who's completely politicked out. As you can imagine, none of our country's political problems magically disappeared over the holiday weekend. Bummer. In fact, the border crisis is still going strong. Tijuana's mayor has actually declared a humanitarian crisis. It's that bad. There are thousands of migrants at the border, and Tijuana doesn't really know what to do with them. The world's answer: America. Open your gates. During a press conference Thursday, Mayor Juan Manuel Gastelum asked international groups like the United Nations to step in to help the city deal with the influx of migrants, amid a lagging response from the Mexican federal government, which he accused of neglecting their responsibilities to deal with migrant and immigration issues. They have categorically omitted and not complied with their legal obligations, he said. So we're now asking them and international humanitarian aid groups to bring in and carry out humanitarian assistance. Isn't it funny how everyone is so quick to blame the United States and call us selfish racists when Mexico is clearly dropping the ball on every front? Think about it. The municipal government estimated it has spent nearly $27,000 daily to house and care for the nearly 4,700 migrants currently in the city. They are housed mostly in the Unidad Deportiva Benito Juarez, a sports complex converted into a makeshift shelter, but well over capacity since the start of the week. I will not compromise public services, Gastelum told reporters from City Hall. I will not spend Tijuanans' money. I will not bring Tijuana into debt now, in the same way we haven't done so these past 2 years. Wait. Hold up. How come it's okay for a politician like Gastelum to refuse to waste the city's resources on illegals? Why is it racist and heartless when an American politician says the same? Tijuana first equals not racist. America first equals extremely racist. Got it? According to Fox News, a chunk of these migrants are planning on crossing into our country today. I heard it's supposed to be peaceful, but you never really know. Here's the latest from Trump. Migrants at the southern border will not be allowed into the United States until their claims are individually approved in court. We only will allow those who come into our country legally. Other than that, our very strong policy is catch and detain. No releasing into the U.S. All will stay in Mexico. If for any reason it becomes necessary, we will close our southern border. There is no way that the United States will, after decades of abuse, put up with this costly and dangerous situation anymore. Would be very smart if Mexico would stop the caravans long before they get to our southern border, or if originating countries would not let them form. It is the way they get certain people out of their country and dump in the U.S. no longer. Them's created this problem. No crossings.
President Trump sent some 6,000 U.S. troops to the U.S.-Mexico border earlier this month. They've erected a base camp. They've been laying razor wire, all at an initial cost of $72 million. Meanwhile, right behind me in Tijuana, the mayor has called the situation a humanitarian crisis as thousands of migrants are sleeping outside.
This morning, competing calls for action on both sides of the border as 5,000 Central American migrants are waylaid in Tijuana. President Donald Trump tweeting from Mar-a-Lago, "Fix the border for once and for all, now." While the mayor of Tijuana has declared a humanitarian crisis in his city and has appealed to the United Nations for help as migrants camp out in soccer stadiums, with some getting to within 500 feet of the border. The mayor criticizing his own government and warning that they need to take Donald Trump's threat to shutter the entire border seriously.
We will close entry into the country for a period of time until we can get it under control. The whole border. I mean, the whole border.
The president calling on Congress to come together on a major border security package after his Thanksgiving attack on the judiciary while talking to troops overseas. Training his criticism on the Ninth Circuit for blocking his plan to reject any asylum application that isn't made in an official point of entry.
It's a terrible thing when judges take over your protective services, when they tell you how to protect your border. It's a disgrace.
For the 5,800 U.S. troops on the border after spending the Thanksgiving holiday away from their home, no certainty on how long they will be there.
As long as the mission takes, that's how long we'll be here.
Now awaiting new orders after President Trump raised the possibility that they could respond with lethal force under some circumstances.
If they have to, they're going to use lethal force.
Now, behind me tomorrow, a group of migrants, is planning to make this crossing on a Sunday. They really want to do it on a slow day to minimize any sort of friction on either side of the border. Their goal is to not cause any.
What do you think about this? Please share this news and scroll down to comment below, and don't forget